Moving on. The next story, Radical Heights.
Radical Heights. We won't spend too long on this, but...
Well, first I want to preface all of this with Radical Heights is an early access. Like, just released to early access, right?
It is, right. It is very much new. Very new.
Radical Heights is coming from Boss Key Productions, which is Cliff Bleszinski. It's his new company. They're the ones that made Lawbreakers. You know, it was a hero shooter. It was... I don't want to say it was a bad game. It was just a hero shooter that came out when everybody was already playing other hero shooters. But so far, Radical Heights, it's interesting. It's an interesting take on the whole battle royale,
battleground,
the whole idea, because you kind of have stuff that you can accumulate over time, like cash. They sell it as a game show, right? It has this whole, like, 80s vibe to it. Mm-hmm. They kind of sell it to you as a game show. Vice, like, even right before it starts, it's like, all right, everybody, this is a game. There's, like, a guy commentating of, it's the start of the match.
Yeah, like, the map itself is inside a giant TV.
Yeah.
Like, that's
it's in a battle dome.
Right,
like, in the middle
exactly.
of the,
It's, like, a very... You know, it's new. It's a different... It's game showy. It's cartoony. It's different cartoony than Fortnite, but it does fit a little bit into the, like... I would say it's more Fortnite than PUBG.
It has kind of that, like a Saints Row... Yeah. Like a Crackdown kind of, like, vibe to it, where it's just kind of, like, goofy, and it knows it's goofy, and it's doing that on purpose.
And it's playing it up.
It's not like where... It's goofy in like the animated sense. It's more of like the entire concept of it is just a little bit like...
Right, like they're trying to take a very lighthearted... Like Fortnite, yes, is cartoony, but it's not like... There's nothing cartoony about it. I mean, like it's trying to be serious, I guess, to an extent. Speaking of that, let's get into the differences, the big differences we see between Fortnite, PUBG, and what Radical Heights brings to offer. Right. For the first thing... no buses or planes.
Yeah, you just kind of fall out of the sky.
They just drop you at a random spot. There's no parachute.
You just
you hit the ground, do a superhero landing, or like a tuck and roll, and boom, you're in the game. So that's kind of cool. I don't know how. Like, I think that's got positive and negatives. The positives being like you're not going to have tilted towers problems.
Right.
You're not going to have a problem where everybody goes to the same spot. And like you were just saying yesterday when I was talking to you about this, where it's like 70 people are dead in the first 10 minutes. Like,
right.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, it's... Yeah, that's true. I didn't even see, like, sky trails, so there's no parachute, there's no sky trails, there's no way for you to really see where other people are landing.
I think you're just kind of landing somewhere random,
and you're just kind of hoping for the best. At least right now. Again, it's early access, so all of this could change later. There's no circle, it's a grid system.
Right.
And the grid kind of shrinks as you get into the game.
And I think I think is one of the coolest aspects of it, because as I was reading online and stuff and watching, it doesn't force people to all kind of run in the same direction.
It kind of breaks it down.
Right. It's like
Tetris almost.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're like, certain areas, you're like, oh, I can wait a little bit longer in this area. I don't need to leave right away. And then other areas like, shit, I got to get out of here now. So I think that'll add a new aspect to the whole Battle Royale Battlegrounds type gameplay, but I would like to see. I have to play it to know like how well it actually works.
Well, it's free on early access.
It is. It is free on Steam
I can't
right now.
I don't have it. But anyways,
I will play it for you guys. Don't worry. The reward system is different. Like you were saying, everyone you have money that carries over.
It can carry over.
Right.
So if you win, you keep all the money that you had or had collected throughout the game. Right. Or you can take the safe route. You get some money from breaking stuff, killing people. You can deposit it into offshore bank account ATMs, right? That then keep it safe if you die and they can't take it. So they kind of took that page out of like GTA's book where you like go and put your money in a bank account. So if someone kills you, you don't drop your money. So
there's ATMs scattered throughout the map that you can go and drop your money off.
Right.
Or you can take money out of them as well.
Right, you can withdraw stuff. So you can use them for later games down the line.
Right.
So you save up some cash. There's the reason you want the cash, right? Is one, you can buy cosmetics with it. Two, or I think you can buy cosmetics with it.
You can.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Two, you can actually use that currency to buy stuff at like vending machine type deals that just are kind of like scattered around with like weapons in them. You just walk up, you spend some cash, and you can pull like a gun out of it. And conversely, they have like weapon trade-in or like cashback slots. So you find like a gray gun, and then you see like, oh, there's a blue one right here. You go drop that in the cashback bin, and that gives you some money
for it. Yeah, that's cool. And and then on the reverse, if you get killed, you lose the money that you're. Right. I don't know if you lose all the money you're holding on to, but you definitely lose money.
Yeah.
Because the other person who killed you gets that money.
Yeah. So
you definitely lose money if you die. So there's a cool little risk-reward system there going on, little mini system within the actual game. So
going on to the rewards. Continuing on with the rewards. So it's not just vending machines. Yes, you can just find guns around. But there's also, like, you can only have 3 weapons and 3 healing items. It's, like, exclusive to that layout. So 3 guns... 3 different, it's like, I saw somebody was collecting cheeseburgers and, like, med kits and, like, a fucking, like, radio phone that calls in a prize drop for you. Things like that are just, like, a little different. You know, you get, like, there's utility items, not just...
It's not just weapons and...
Weapons. Right. So, where in PUBG you have your mods for your guns, and in Fortnite you have... Everything's kind of collectively, you have an inventory that you manage. This kind of breaks it up so you can have 3 of each.
Yeah, they kind of did a split between the two, like a halfway between the two, a little bit.
And so you kind of can, again, some of them will be one-time use items. Some of them you can stack, like have a bunch of cheeseburgers, but you can still buy like body armor. So I took that from PUBG, where it's like, okay, you want full armor, you're going to probably have to spend a good bit of money for it out of a vending machine. So
it adds another element. It's not just looting the whole time. So the game's also got little mini games. So if you like, I was reading the Forbes article about it. He was saying like he picked up a bike, and then it immediately entered him into a little like race to this finish line contest. So he had to race the bike to the finish line.
You get money?
Yeah, you get paid. Again, it adds just another level to the whole game. I think I'm excited to see what else they add. If the bicycle will be the only vehicle, if they add like scooters or bikes.
I keep saying someone needs to add a golf cart.
A golf cart would be
Whether
cool.
it's Fortnite or I think Radical Heights could do it perfectly. Especially if they do squads. All I've seen is really duos at this point. I've seen like one guy on the back of some dude's bike.
You know they'll do squads.
Right. So...
Yeah, but the golf cart could be your squad vehicle.
Right, like you've got that driver, you got one, and then 2 on the back.
Exactly. And that would be like your special, that was your big vehicle. You've got the bikes, and then you've got the golf cart if you need a full squad.
Yeah, so, they're not that fast. They'd be slow to drive.
Like bike speed. Like, they wouldn't even be any faster than the bikes. Right. Realistically, they're not. I mean, you can bike as fast as a go-kart. I mean, a
golf cart. Yeah, for sure. On the mini games, there's also like different ways that you can earn prizes. So, like, once you get to a certain point in the game, you'll see that the spin to win wheels will start going. And you'll see, because the map you can look up and you can tell like you're in a cage, right? There's like the grid in the sky. But there's rails on that grid in the sky that kind of run through the center, like through the circles. And the spin to win will travel along that rail and just drop at a random point.
Oh, interesting.
So you'll kind of like, you'll hear it's coming, and then you'll just like look up and see like, okay, where's the rail? And then you'll just start running along the rail trying to see like, where's it going to drop? Where's it going to drop?
Yeah, so they do it a little bit differently than the like cargo plane or just random drop like.
Well, there are still random drops, but the spin to win is like a big cash.
Right, so I mean,
it's like a big win, right? Like if you can get to it, you'll get something.
It's like crates. It's like, I assume it's like a crate.
Right, but there's also other ones that just kind of like drop out of the sky that are just not as big.
Yeah, they're not the big spin to win ones. All right.
And there's also these little rooms that you can kind of like walk up to, and you have to stand on this pad. They kind of like put them inside of like campers, right? You stand on this little pad, and then a door will open up after like a couple of seconds of you standing on the pad, and then there's a bunch of loot and stuff inside of it. But you have to like it's usually like out in the open. You're just standing there waiting for this little thing to open up.
Right, so you can get picked off super easily, yeah. That makes sense. So yeah, and I think Bo and I agree that this is not a bad thing. Like, again, some media outlets are like, oh, it's just a cash grab, but no, this is not, there's only good things can come from more games, from more bigger, like, legitimate studios trying to make Battlegrounds, Battle Royale type style games. Because they're just going to add more better ideas to it. They're going to keep wanting to be unique. They're going to keep wanting to... I mean, competition breeds innovation.
Right.
So...
And I think this setting has, like, a whole different kind of vibe that Fortnite and PUBG both, like, don't have.
Yeah.
I think it gives them... Like, it's set in the 1980s. It has this whole, like, 80s art style.
Right.
It's all
Miami
very,
Vice, 80s, like, TV show. I mean...
Yeah, there's a lot you
Ready
can
Player
do with
One.
it.
You know, it's got like a Ready Player One feel.
Right.
When you kill enemies, they blow up in the money.
Along that vein, right? So I think that there's a lot they could do with this that you couldn't get away with in PUBG or Fortnite. You can do quirky game show type things, like...
Because the genre's established.
So. Oh, man, I'm going to get... Let's say maybe they add, like, trap type deals down the line where you could maybe, like, punish other players even if you don't see them. Like, call in, like, a... Like it's a game show, right? Like something that like puts you at advantage over others,
right?
Or vice versa.
Yeah, exactly.
Like so, it'll defend you, like get you a lifeline or something that like makes like there's so much you could do with the idea of it being like a game show,
right?
And it puts it into context because with PUBG, you're like, why the fuck are we flying in on an island killing each other?
And Fortnite, it's like, why are we being dropped on this island?
There's zombies. It's like, why are we killing each other?
Right. Right.
So this game at least has context, and there's like there's a reason you're all duking it out in this dome. And it's kind of the same thing with Darwin Project.
Right. But Darwin Project's like 8 people instead of 100.
Right. And it's very small, and it's
Darwin Project but it's more like a free-for-all game.
Right.
In my mind. Like, it's not really a battle royale. But the point is that nobody should be complaining about new battle royale games. I'm not a huge fan of either of the current iterations of it. I'm not a huge fan of Fortnite. I'm not a huge fan of PUBG.
I thoroughly enjoy Fortnite.
I know. I'm not saying you. I'm just talking about myself.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't have any problem with that.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah. Don't want people getting the hate on you.
I'm not a big fan of hate towards him.
Right.
Not me.
You can. That's fine, because it's just not like I don't mind it. I don't have a problem with it. Right. I'm not like, I hate this. This is the dumbest shit. But at the same time, I'm like, there's so much potential for these game modes. PUBG is just a broken game in general, and Fortnite, the playstyle's not my cup of tea.
Right.
So I'm excited to see like what the future has to offer in this genre, and I think Radical Heights is going to be one of the first. I think Radical Heights, Paladins looks exactly like Fortnite.
Exactly.
I mean, it looks exactly like Fortnite. So
minus builds.
Minus building. So it's like really worse.
Right. So we'll see.
We'll see. Maybe Paladins will actually end up being really cool and it has its own unique thing. So
there's only been like a little like playtest alpha out for that. But
so I'm not gonna be like some people out there who are like, this is so stupid. Why don't you just play Fortnite? It's like, well, not everyone...
You don't hate people for liking games you don't like.
Right.
There's no reason for that.
Right. Or vice versa. Like, you know...
How is that constructive to anybody to sit there and say, like, oh, you like that game? You're stupid. It's not. It's not. There's no reason
and the same token,
to do that.
Don't get angry at people for not liking games that you do like. Like, it's like everyone's different.
It's okay to defend the games you like, but don't sit there and call other people dumb or trash or whatever just because they don't like the same
shit. I would never go out of my way to just talk a bunch of trash about. I'll talk trash about PUBG. I wouldn't talk a ton of trash about Fortnite because I don't think Fortnite has really got a ton of problems with it.
I think they need to fix their server issues.
Well, yeah. That's a different issue, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not my cup of tea.